All right, a couple weeks ago, I came across sort of a weird eBay listing. So it was an auction listing that was about to end for a Canon C200, or at least that's what the title said. Now, a C200 is an awesome cinema camera. It goes for around $2,000 to $3,000, I believe. And I would definitely love to own one of those. But the thing is, the pictures in the listing were actually of a Canon C500, which is quite a bit older of a camera, but it is technically a higher end model than the C200. And it's still another camera that I would personally love to own. But the C500 sells for, I think, a little bit less, like around, maybe $1,200 to $2,000. And like I said, when I came across this auction, there was, I think, a couple hours left. I don't remember the exact amount of time, but it was pretty close to ending. And right off the bat, I noticed that, there was a different camera in the pictures than there was in the title, and there's only a couple pictures. They weren't very good quality. And then to top it all off, I'll read the description real quick. This is the entire description for this listing. It says, "I don't know anything about cameras, and I'm not sure if this is working, so listing it for parts/as is." And of course, the condition on the eBay listing was for parts only. Now, if you've been watching me for a while, you know this is right up my alley. Kind of a weird, sketchy, confusing listing like this, where maybe it's a C200, maybe it's the pictures, which is probably more realistic, which is a Canon C500. This whole camera is completely untested, so I have no clue if it works. And so I kind of thought about it, I looked into it a little bit, and I told myself, I'm willing to spend $400 on this camera just to take the risk and see, what shows up in the mail. And if I have a working C200 or a working C500 out of this, it's well worth $400. And if not, hopefully I can scavenge something from this, maybe part it out, or, just take the loss on it. But basically I figured if I can get this for $400 or less, I'm just gonna go for it and just see what happens. It ended up passing $400. And then in the moment, I decided I would just up my max bid to $450, and I ended up winning it for $416. And so that's the quick backstory on this box right here. So in today's video, I'm gonna unbox this, see what actually showed up, give it a quick test, and then hopefully I got myself a working Canon cinema camera, probably a C500, but there's really only one way to find out. Let's go ahead and get this thing opened and see what's inside. So I don't think it comes with any batteries, lenses, top handles, monitors, anything like that. It's just the body of the camera as far as I know. So I do have a battery for it, I have a lens to put on it, and I'm just gonna, fully test this thing out. I also even have a monitor unit from a Canon C300, which is actually the exact same model for the C500. So if this is a C500, which I'm, 90% sure it is, I should have everything I need to fully test this and know if it's 100% functioning or if, it's just a bricked broken camera or something like that. So let's go ahead and get this thing open. All right, got some foam on top there. So it's in like a Canon mirrorless camera box, it looks like. So at least it's packaged pretty decent. All right, we got this right here. So honestly, if it was a Canon EOS R in here, I would not be disappointed at all for 416 bucks. Okay, I guess maybe it's not packaged the best inside of this box, but we'll see. It could definitely use a little bit more foam in there, but all right. Let's get this thing open and see what we got in here. Look at that. Okay, definitely could have been packaged a little better, but I'm just hoping it works, honestly. There we go, so that's everything in there. Let's get that box out of the way. And this right here is officially a Canon C500. Look at that. So this is, I think, around a 10-year-old camera, but it's still pretty powerful with an external recorder. This can do some crazy recording specs, like I think 4K 60 or 4K, even 120 frames per second with an external recorder, which is crazy. And it actually looks like it has a Zacuto, I think that's how you say it, top plate here, which is pretty nice. That's honestly probably a $100 accessory for this. So that's pretty awesome to see on there as well. And let's see, okay, there's no battery inside there, which I wasn't expecting, but it would have been kind of cool. Let's see if there's any CF cards. All right, no CF cards either. But the condition of this, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10 in terms of physical condition. It's definitely looks used, but there's no damage, there's no cracks, there's no scrapes, just some light, scuffing and things like that. But this thing looks really good. I would definitely give it like a 7 out of 10 condition scale. Let's go ahead and look at the sensor and see what that looks like. Now this is actually really cool. So the C500 has a locking EF mount. So it kind of looks like a PL mount with this active lock system, but this is an EF mount. All right, let's go ahead and unlock that. I'm really hoping this sensor is in good condition. That's pristine. Like that is a pristine sensor. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this. I didn't even see any dust on there or anything. That looks really, really good. So, man, first impressions are pretty good. A $416 Canon C500. All right, I'm just gonna quickly go through and click all these buttons and make sure none of them are jammed up or broken or anything like that. Look at that, all the port covers are on there in great condition. That was another issue we had with the broken C300. All the port covers are kind of off and missing. Okay, it is actually missing one port cover, but still. Yeah, I would give this thing a solid 7 out of 10 in overall physical condition. But of course we gotta test this thing out. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this Zacuto top plate thing, and I'm gonna put on the top handle and the monitor unit from the Canon C300, just so we can have, you know, an official Canon monitor unit on here to fully test it. And then we'll go ahead and drop in a battery and see if this thing powers up. So first of all, I'm just gonna pull this off real quick. All right, there we go, got that off. Let's go ahead and grab the C300 top handle right here. Slide that in. All right, got those clicked in. Monitor is hooked up. I'm gonna go ahead and just put a lens on here real quick. So we got the Canon EFS 10-18, a nice wide angle to put on here. There we go, so we got lens on there, we got the monitor unit. All we need is a battery and we can test this thing out. I'm so excited, but so nervous to see if this thing powers up. All right, here we go, let's get this battery in here. All right, I believe we have everything ready to go. Lens on, top handle, battery. Everything looks good, the sensor's perfect. All right, here we go. $416 Canon C500. Let's try to power this thing up. Oh, look at that. Okay. That took a second, but I heard the fan kick on and I knew we were good. That's a loud fan. I don't know if you can hear that. It's a loud fan. All right, either way, look at that. So we got date and time up there. Let's see, all right, so this doesn't have a side handle. So let's use the joystick up here. I won't worry about that right now. Raw 4K. As far as I know, the highest you can do internally without an external recorder is 1080p still. So maybe that's just the output. All right, ND filter. This is another really important thing. Hopefully the ND filter works. 2 stops, 4 stops, 6 stops. There we go. ND filter works. I hear the fan on. Look at that. The screen on the back works. I don't know if you'll be able to see that either. That information screen right there. Let's check the viewfinder real quick. Make sure this works. All right, viewfinder's solid. That looks really nice. Okay, here's something I want to check real quick. I want to see how many hours are on this thing, because like I said, it looks pretty good, but I guess there really could be any amount of hours. If it's like a super low amount of hours, that'd be awesome. It's not the most important thing. I just kind of want to see. So let's see. Reset. Set clock. Where would it be? Reset hour meter. All right, since reset, 313 hours. I thought it also said like the total, because you can reset the hour count on this. So I thought it still had a total hour count. But 313 since reset, I don't want to say that's the total hours, but I guess it is possible. All right, actually I figured out how to check it, and it is 313 total hours. That is crazy. That's very, very low for this old of a camera especially. Firmware is 1.0.7.1.00. I'm not sure if that's the most up to date. I'll definitely have to check that, see if I can update the firmware. I'm pretty sure it can still only do 1080p internally, and I don't have an external recorder, so I don't think I can do 4K RAW on this how it is right now, but I'll have to figure that out. But either way, I'm gonna throw in a card and just see if it'll record some footage, and I think at that point, we got ourselves a $416 C500. Now, obviously, I already had this monitor unit, you know, and top handle, which if it didn't have that, you could still use it with just a regular HDMI or SDI monitor, but this definitely adds to, you know, the price that it would be and everything like that. So it's still not, you know, a complete, fully working C500 with battery and with a monitor and handle and everything like that. But still, for just over 400 bucks, this is a pretty awesome deal for a C500. All right, so I got this CF card right here. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there, format it, and see if we can record some footage with this. That'll be kind of the final test. Otherwise, this is fully functional. I mean, I don't know what else would be wrong with that at this point, as long as it records footage. So let's see, the card is definitely filled up from testing the C300, so let's go ahead and format that. All right, let's go ahead and initialize all media on the card. All right, there we go. We got 41 minutes to record on the card. All right, let's do this. I'm gonna record a clip real quick. Look at that. Let's see, there's me. Look at that. Now, I don't even know, I don't think this has autofocus. Let's go ahead and switch autofocus on. No, I don't think this has autofocus, but either way, it's recording. It's recording. There we go, a working Canon C500, just over 400 bucks. This is definitely the reason why I love trying to find these weird, sketchy, strange looking eBay listings. I would not recommend it. I could have just as easily, you know, gotten a completely broken camera that didn't work at all. I mean, it wasn't tested, it was listed for parts. So really, when you're buying something like this, you have to understand that the risk is fully on you. If something goes wrong, you just kind of have to deal with it. But this is the exact reason why I love these types of eBay listings, that you're just never really sure. They're kind of risky, but you can find some pretty awesome deals sometimes. But either way, let me know if you want to see more content about this Canon C500. I'm not exactly sure what I could do with this yet, but let me know down in the comments what you want to see about this camera right here. And if you want to see more unboxings and, you know, fun videos like this in the future. But that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.